title of my studio is Architecture After the Street. And basically the idea is that cities would be better if we had better and more interesting ideas about motion. And the idea of the studio is to think out inventive ideas for motion in the future. We've started with asking the question, what is motion? Having the benefit of the knowledge that exists within the university, our thought was to talk to experts in different fields to come up with new concepts of motion. The car is really limited today in terms of how it can move in the city. I mean, basically, cars have super simple movement. They stop, they go, they idle, they turn. And maybe the most complex things that the cars do in cities is yield or merge. And in a weird way, the form of the city mirrors that. The urban grid has mandated that there be blocks and streets. What if in the future there were some areas of New York that didn't have streets, that there were fluid systems that didn't rely upon a fixed infrastructure? We're taking a site where streets are really important at the current moment. It's the area that feeds into the Holland Tunnel. So at some times of day, it's really heavily trafficked. The hours where there isn't a lot of traffic, like the middle of the day, the space is wide open, and including the streets. And so the idea is to think about the area around the Avenues of America and Canal as potentially an area that doesn't have any streets. An area could be used for different things during the course of the day, so that it might be a street at one point of the day, but it could be transformed into a park at another. If we can think of architecture as things that don't have to exist with streets and blocks, that means the form of architecture, the way that it faces open spaces, the configuration, the sculptural qualities will all be different, and it'll mean that the city itself will be different. I was very skeptical about the car when we started all of this research. I think it's interesting that the root of the logic of the city is based on the car. And so why not start with the car as a way to begin to think of a new city?